Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video. Today's video, we're going to go back to our roots a little bit. We're going to be talking about Katsu, where Katsu is in the meta or where he is not in the meta. Kind of get some general thoughts on the hero now that I've had some more time to play around with some different things. And yeah, just talk about the hero if you're ever wanting to try it or continue to play it here in the Hunted season. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully enjoy your stay. If you're a long-staying supporter, thank you so much as always. Feel free to check out the Discord down below, channel membership, all that good stuff, as well as the creator sheet. If you want access to a bunch of other creators, it is in the description below, flesh and blood oriented creators. I've had a couple of people in the comments asking how they can be added. If you want to be added to the sheet, just join my Discord, and in the promo channel, once you get through and get access to the Discord, in the promo channel, just link your channel and at me, and I'll take a look at it. As long as you're making semi-consistent flesh and blood content, because I do want it to be like a flesh and blood creator list, and you're being positive and nice and everything like that, well, we're good, and I'll add you to it. But please let me know. It's hard to find everyone, so I want to do my best to make sure if people are making content, they are on that list. But we'll get right into it. So Katsu's in a rough spot. It's no surprise to anyone, right? This is the past month. This is in December of 2024. You can see Katsu's at 39%, the third worst win percentage in the entire game. Now, yes, this is Talishar, but this is a good general public perception, right, of where the hero stands. The only hero that is worse is Betsy at 38 and Teklavostin at 34. So we are now in Betsy and Teklavostin tier. If you look a year ago, back when we had Bonds of Ancestry, Katsu is sitting at over 50%. Yeah, 51%, which looking at the rest of the meta is up there with where the top heroes were at. People or heroes like Azalea. You had other ones that were even LL that are now LL that were doing really well. But yeah, Katsu's in a rough spot. It's no surprise there. But there's some ways you can play Katsu, I think, especially with a skilled pilot, that will get you some wins, right? It might not be the craziest. And I never like to abide by the thought process of, oh, just play Zen, or, oh, just play 5. No, play the hero you want to play. And hopefully some of these thoughts, this isn't like a true deck tech. This is a deck, and it will be linked down below. But I'm going to try to give you some thought processes and give you some options, because right now, with where Katsu's at, it's like 80-20 for me. Maybe 70-30, where like 70 to 80% is competitive efficiency, so I just don't absolutely suck with the already bad hero. But then 20-30% of it's like preference stuff and stuff I enjoy playing. And I'll talk about those when I get to those cards. For the equipment, pretty simple. There's not much additions from the Hunted. You could go with the Flick Knives route and run cards like Upsticks and Run and Pick Up the Point and things like that, and try to get a little bit more value and keep your Mask Momentum triggers alive. And I would say, if you want to do that, that's great. I think Ira is just insanely more efficient at that. And again, I am the last person that's going to say, just play this hero, it's better. I hate that line of thinking in a card game. Play who you want to play. But it's a ninja, and Ira plays different than Katsu. It isn't combo oriented, but it is that style of play. So, but if you want to go that route, please, more than happy to. Breaking Scale, I think, is still just the most consistent piece, especially, and for the legs, Breezear Boots, because we're still running Fluster Fist, you're still running a lot of combo cards, and you're combo oriented. I just enjoy Breezear Boots better. I've always liked Breezear Boots over Snapdragon Scalers anyway. Now, if you're on the more aggressive game plan with even bigger than that, Snatch, Enlightened Strike, Soul Beat Strike, Standing Order, all these cards where you're trying to abuse some things, Snaps may be better, so you can have a get out of jail free card, but overall that's where the boots are. And then the chest piece, I was trying Blood Spattered Vest for a little bit, and Blood Spattered Vest doesn't feel that bad. It's pretty nice. I will say, though, in the aggressive matchups, being able to lead with that Surging Strike for free so I can use my last card in my hand to truly discard is really useful on Katsu, especially on a 5-card hand without breaking the chain. You don't want to have to rely on gaining that resource from a Kodachi, especially in certain matchups that like to block you if they know you held a whole hand. So Heart and Cross Shap's just more consistent to me, but Blood Spattered Vest is very good, and if you run it over maybe Tunic, I could very well see that. I still have Tunic in here just to allow me to have these lead-off turns with Spinning Wheel Kick. It's very minor, but it does come up. Or it allows me to have these turns where maybe I started with something like a Spinning Wheel Kick into a Surging Strike, and then my last 2 cards are Whelming and something else, a 0 cost. It allows me to go discard my 0 cost, go get McGinty, use Tunic to then do that off like a 5-card hand. Very minute stuff. If you run Blood Spatter Vest, I wouldn't fault you for it. But that's kind of where it is. The biggest preference thing that I have is Mask Momentum. If you're playing this hero at this point for pure competitive efficiency and you're trying to make the hero the best it can be, I think Pouncing Lynx is the way to go. I don't like Pouncing Lynx in Katsu. Anyone who's watched my channel for longer than 3 Katsu videos knows that. So this is a preference thing. But right now, with all the warrior that's probably going to be in the meta, Fang's pretty decent, but might not be top tier. But we are going to see more warrior. All the assassin that's not only disrupting you but likes to block. Jarl is going to be around once Misfail goes away, in my opinion. I think Jarl's going to be pretty good once he can get rid of one set in the game. And then you have, just other heroes that don't mind blocking you, like Viserai. Mask of Momentum is just not as consistent. The only reason it's even semi-consistent in decks like Syndra and Ira is because they can flick to keep it alive because they're going to be buying their daggers back. So if you want to go that route, try it. But yeah, if you're wanting pure competitive efficiency, just run Lynx in the main board. Because Retrace the Past is a Lynx target, it makes your Lynx targets way better. One of the downsides to Katsu post bonds for Lynx was like your only good targets really were like Whelming Gustwave and Tenacity, or maybe you could do like a weird Lord of Wind play, but really it wasn't that great. So if you're wanting pure competitive efficiency, just run Lynx in the main board. Otherwise, I like Mask Momentum. It's my favorite ninja card of all time. It's what got me into Katsu originally. I love the intricacies of trying to get this to hit. So because of that, I still run it. When it comes to the main deck, I'm not going to go through every card. I will just talk about some highlights. Command and Conquer is in the main board now. This deck is a lot more mid-range if you want to utilize it to its fullest extent. I think you need to buy time to be able to have like a good mid to late game against you play, or utilize Retrace the Past to chip off Pounding Gale and Flusterfist. So because of that, I think you need to have these mid-range pieces in there like Command and Conquer, like Enlightened Strike, to try to buy a little bit of tempo. These weren't in the Command and Conquer was in the sideboard, but Enlightened Strike was like 50-50 in the list in the Bonds era. But post Bonds, I think it just has to come back. Next one's Flusterfist. This is pretty good. Just to reiterate, it has really good synergy with Retrace the Past. If you don't have a lot of Whelmings and Surgings in the grave yet and you don't want to waste them against you, you may want to and you have a Retrace the Past today, and you may want to go get, go Surging, Whelming, Retrace, and then end on a Fluster, naming Retrace, open the center. Retrace gets go again because a Gust Wave is the last card in the combat chain. Fluster most of the time when it's comboed comes in as like a 0 for 6, if not a 0 for 7, depending on what you were doing. So that's pretty good. Gust Wave, the second wind, Underwhelming Gust Wave as we call it. It's just a good glue piece. It's a Flusterfist with upside. Allows you to do some different things. Like even if you want to go like on a super wide Breeze Rider Boots turn, there's certain weird play lines where you do like Surging, Whelming, Retrace, Gust Wave, naming, Retrace, Surging, like just weird, like really go wide lines, but it might not be always the best thing to do. But it does give you a little more block value in the list as well. All these are pretty standard. Pounding Gale is another ender for open the center. Not everyone's running this. I like it. It's a 1 for 5. Allows you to do a 2-card 7 off of Kadachi's in a blue. And then when paired with open the center in a really long chain, I've had this hit completely before and deal 10 damage to my opponent. Even if they chop block it and only block 3, then it still deals 4 damage, which is super nice if it's comboed. So I like that. Running 1 Razor just because it's Razor. Make sure opponent, if you're in an open deck list or they know your deck list, it's not as impactful, but into an unknown deck list like Swissfield, only running 1's really nice. If your opponent's not paying attention to your pitch or you're in the mid game, they might try to play around this if you've already played one, and then you just buy tempo for no reason. We're running the normal package of Whelming and Surging, running 1 Break Tide. This could go up to 2. If you wanted to get rid of this Razor and just run another Break Tide, it's a really good ender with Retrace the Past. Naming Retrace the Past, Rushing River, or Flutter Force to give us +3 Dominate. It's also a Lynx target, technically. Not the best one, but it is one. 3 McGinty. We are still running 3 Harmony. It hits pretty often in this deck. I mean, we have, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 14, 17... 20, 23, 24, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. Now, not all those are perfect to hit, but, our odds of hitting with Harmony is nice. And if you're going to go all in on the combo plan, Harmony, even though it can be inconsistent at times, like there's not much better blues. Even if this doesn't hit, if it can give 2 cards +1 in your chain, then it pretty much does what most blues do in the deck, if they're not comboed. So either way, it's fine. We're running a 1-of Find Center. This is a very minute line with Retrace the Past, naming Retrace the Past, Crane Dance, and then doing Find Center to be able, if they are out of equipment, and give them a Zen State token. Lord of Wind. I'm running a 1-of Prowess of Agility now. I just like this card. If I can find this card turn 1, it feels pretty good. Like doing Kadachi 100 Wind Prowess, you're basically potentially getting another draw at some point, which is really powerful. Retrace the Past. This card's nuts. It does improve Katsu a lot. It improves the flexibility and the fun factor a lot, but it's not going to take Katsu over the top by any means. And then Winds of Eternity. Sideboard, Flick Flack Shelter, just more defensive pieces. Tenacity, when we do switch to Lynx, Tenacity, Gust Wave are really good targets to put in there. And then Snag. I have Snag on the list because Katsu is really struggling in Assassin right now because you can't get that extra tutor from Bonds, so you can't push over sometimes with Assassin even on small hands. So Snag is really useful. And then running AB1. So this is where I'm at with the list. Pretty simple. Some notable cards that are not included or not included a lot of. The biggest one you probably didn't see is Descendant Gust Wave. The problem with this card with a Trace the Past is, yes, technically you can get the Dishonor line back, and that's what everyone was so excited about, right? Is Dishonor line's back, like we at least try to hit it. The problem is you basically have to have the entire natural line in your hand other than like one piece, typically, right? Like you have to have Surging. Honestly, you like to make it consistent, you really need to have Surging and Descendant, and then either already have a Dishonor in hand or already have a Retrace the Past in hand. And then you need to do it that way. That's the only way you're going to get it. So having to have 3 out of 4 of the pieces makes it very hard, because what Bonds of Ancestry did is you only needed to have 2 of the pieces, right? If you had, Descendant Surging, discard a 0, go get Bonds, then Bonds, you banish a Dishonor, play a Dishonor, right? So you're able to play the full line with only 2 pieces. With this, you need 3 pieces. And 1 for 3 go again, 0 for 5 potentially. It is good. It can raise your damage ceiling. If you do have Descendants in the list, I would probably take away 1 Gust Wave, 1 Spinning, and like your Razor. If you want to still try to get the Dishonor line off. It's just not as consistent, sadly. It kind of feels really bad. It also has anti-synergy with McGinty, both from retrieval and from a play standpoint. So it's really awkward. Cut Through is a cool addition if you want to try to go that route. Again, if you do that, just run like Flick Knives and some of the retrieval and stuff and really try to make the most of your daggers. Flood of Force, I love this card to death. Some people are running it. If you run it, it's just more for fun as an ender with Retrace the Past. Cyclone Roundhouse is one I want to try. I saw Pudding try this in the show match, and I thought that was really interesting. I think Pudding with show matches likes to run what he thinks the hero should play. Maybe it was specific tech, because I'm pretty sure, didn't he play? Yeah, he played against Fang, so he might have been doing it just to try to tech into Fang a little bit. But this is a kind of a cool thing off of it combos with Spin Will Kick, but it also combos the end of a chain off Retrace the Pass if you want to. And then we have Hurricane Technique also as an ender. One weird one is Warmongers, which I'm really excited. Warmongers isn't as needed anymore, in my opinion. Like, yes, if you want to tech into Viscerai, go ahead and do it. But in Azalea. But really, like, Azalea's not as prominent in this meta. She still was played, but it's not like a top deck by any means. And Viscerai, like if you want to have it in the list, it doesn't like, I won't bat an eye at it. But honestly, I would just keep trying to play the aggressive game plan and utilize your blues to the best of their extent. So that's my maybe board. This is where I have the hero. Hero, again, is not that great right now. Does Katsu even have a win record in anybody that's not also a trash hero? I don't think so. We're actually 49% into Aurora, which is pretty sick. That's about as good as you're going to get. Enigma's a nightmare now because you don't have bonds to like get over. Ira is pretty much an auto loss unless they just block like idiots, which is, at least in my opinion, you're not looking at very much else, right? That as far as like an actual meta hero being good into them. But regardless, you can, get some wins if you're a skilled pilot. So I'm not trying to doom and gloom. The biggest thing right now is just we wait, see what if any support Katsu will continue to get in the future. Katsu is kind of the ninja that was left behind. It sucks a little bit, and I'm not gonna turn into like a turn into a complaint session. It's not meant to be that. But with, Zen, Fi, Syndra, they all care about completely different things that Katsu cares about. Zen, yes, is a combo ninja, but it doesn't play like a combo ninja. It's just degenerate aggro. There's not much finesse in that deck, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. But regardless, I'm still going to play the hero. It's definitely going to be an armory deck for sure. Maybe a PQ for fun one time if I just want to play a hero. Maybe if the assassin's not doing it for me, I'll definitely play Katsu, and I'll be playing at armory. So this is where I'm at with the list. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Where I know I have a bunch of Katsu enjoyers. I will continue to try to make content on Katsu as much as I can. It's just really difficult when the hero is this bad. Because Assassin, I enjoy playing, and Assassin is now good. So arguably the best class in the game overall. Maybe Ninja has something to say about that if you took the entire body of work, but I think Assassin's the best class in the game. So I really want to, play those as well. But regardless, if you like this type of content, please leave a like, a comment, or subscribe. If not me, it's completely fine. Go to another creator, leave a like, comment, subscribe on their stuff. Let's get more people seeing this game, and I'll see y'all next time on TCG Talk. Thank y'all so much.